Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There we go. Marlanda Dekine here. Welcome to Poetry Chapel. I am tuning in a different space than usual for me, which is kind of interesting because this is my childhood bedroom. My wife and I are preparing to move from the south to up north, and I'm settling in from a lot of movement in preparation for that. And it's been very exciting to prepare the poems for today. What I like to do is to share a slideshow that has all of the text so that you can read along and also look it up on your own later. I try to use poems that you can find on your own, no matter where you are in the world, through the internet. And for accessibility reasons, to have the text on the screen. So you'll see me go from this big space to a small space in the screen, and then I'll reappear. I'm going to ask that we take a breath together to bring us into this space. Just breathe into your stomach in a way that feels good to you. And breathe out. Breathe in. And out. May the child in you honor the child existing now. May the child in you be cared for by the adult of you. May the adult of you nurture, love, and protect the child in you. May there be laughter. May there be joy. May there be deep feeling. Let's jump into the poetry. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm still learning how all of this works. Something that is important for me to tell you is that all of the poems that you'll hear today are approved by their writers, except for those folks who have passed on. So the first poem we will hear today is from magnificent poet and being Destiny Hemphill out of Durham, North Carolina. Destiny's work is life-giving and is honest and deep. Our Own Names by Destiny Hemphill. Okra, pickled just the way you like it, in the jar on the top shelf. Oranges in the ochre clay bowl you made right there on the counter. Clove tea brewing stove top, and there's an orison that my mama taught me, metronoming against my orbital bones, orbiting around my occipital. Come through. Let's be each other's oracles. We can hold hands, craft a shrine in the gap of our palms, in the ocean of our breaths, at the shore of our oil-shined flesh. Listen, this is my oath to you. I'm devoted to you, the people, my folks, my kindred, not to the state. And I belong with you, not to the state. And I belong with you, not to the state. Our love is ordained by the Black ordinary and spectacle, our wayward waymaking. We are the more, gathered together here in our own names, calling on otherwise, serenading otherwheres, singing we already here. Come through. Thank you, Destiny. Next in our order of service, we will have 13 Ways of Looking at a Glacier after Wallace Stevens by Craig Santos Perez. 13 Ways of Looking at a Glacier after Wallace Stevens. 1. Among starving polar bears, the only moving thing was the edge of a glacier. 2. We are of one ecology, like a planet in which there are 200,000 glaciers. 3. The glacier absorbed greenhouse gases. We are a large part of the biosphere. 4. Humans and animals are kin. Humans and animals are glacier. Humans and animals and glaciers are kin. 5. We do not know which to fear more, the terror of change or the terror of uncertainty, the glacier calving or just after. 6. Icebergs fill the vast ocean with titanic wrecks. The mass of the glacier disappears to and fro, the threat hidden in the crevice and unavoidable cause. 7. O vulnerable humans, why do you engineer seawalls? Do you not see how the glacier already floods the streets of the cities around you? 8. I know king tides and lurid, inescapable storms, but I know too that the glacier is involved in what I know. 9. When the glacial terminus broke, it marked the beginning of one of many waves. 10. At the rumble of a glacier losing its equilibrium, every tourist in the new Arctic chased ice quickly. 11. They explored the poles for offshore drilling. Once we blocked them, in that we understood the risk of an oil spill for a glacier. 12. The sea is rising. The glacier must be retreating. 13. It was summer all winter. It was melting, and it was going to melt. The glacier fits in our warm hands. Thank you, Craig. Mulberry Fields by the gift that is Lucille Clifton. They thought the field was wasting, and so they gathered the marker rocks and stones and piled them into a barn. They say that the rocks were shaped, some of them scratched with triangles and other forms. They must have been trying to invent some new language. They say the rocks went to build that wall there guarding the manor, and some few were used for the state house. Crops refused to grow. I say the stones marked an old tongue, and it was called eternity and pointed toward the river. I say that after that collection, no pillow in the big house dreamed. I say that somewhere under here, Molders once called Alice, whose great grandson is old now too and refuses to talk about slavery. I say that at the master's table, only one plate is set for supper. I say no seed can flourish on this ground once planted, then forsaken. Wild berries warm a field of bones. Bloom how you must, I say. Thank you, Lucille Clifton. At the Preparación by Willie Perdomo. Mothers will always ask about the state of your tranquility. Every block had a semi, someone who wasn't afraid of being taken from the present. Her name was usually Kuka. To get to the Preparación, you have to go on a mission. Nothing impossible, but nothing that you could repeat. When you get to the palm tree on the corner, back up and take a left. You know there are no palm trees in the street, so you take a right. A mute Siamese cat will dare you with the quick scurry into Gaddafi's. Go left again, but just a chin. Go right again, but just a chin. Turn slow at the third corner as if you were an uptown eclipse, an indecisive twilight, a fix ready to burn. When you feel a follicle of sweat grovel down your back, you have arrived. You will see an altar in the living room. The altar should be stacked with some things you might need to start your day. Tato Brujo will have his back toward you. Make sure that he's facing San Lazaro. Make sure his chants trumpet the rain's insistence. When the preparation begins, they will pencil your wish on a slip of brown paper bag, and one by one they will dip your real name in a mug of honey. You tell the bruja, I could use a blessing. She pushes up and says, I walked a long way, left dust tracks on the road. All the poems you wrote are stories I'd untold. You've seen that moment. A clap, an instant, a jab, a pair of hands soaked in rubbing alcohol, a flame, a vicious blue. The fire you can make, the light not so much. You swear that you can see through walls, as much as you can't know. Yo, Nestor says, tell her to leave me alone, man. Campeche's painting of Jesus Cristo looks at Petey with a sketch eye. Throw this coconut over your shoulder, the bruja will say. Make sure you throw it high so it splatters into a million little pieces, and tell me which piece is looking back at you. Thank you, Willie Perdomo. Starlings in Winter by Mary Oliver. Chunky and noisy, but with stars in their black feathers, they spring from the telephone wire, and instantly they are acrobats in the freezing wind. And now, in the theater of air, they swing over buildings, dipping and rising. They float like one stippled star that opens, becomes for a moment fragmented, then closes again. And you watch and you try, but you simply can't imagine how they do it, with no articulated instruction, no pause, only the silent confirmation that they are this notable thing, this wheel of many parts that can rise and spin over and over again, full of gorgeous life. Ah, world, what lessons you prepare for us, even in the leafless winter, even in the ashy city. I am thinking now of grief and of getting past it. I feel my boots trying to leave the ground. I feel my heart pumping hard. I want to think again of dangerous and noble things. I want to be light and frolicsome. I want to be improbable, beautiful, and afraid of nothing, as though I had wings. Thank you, Mary Oliver. Next, one of my teachers, Denise Duhamel. The poem is called Ego. I just didn't get it. Even with the teacher holding an orange, the earth, in one hand, and a lemon, the moon, in the other. Her favorite student, the sun, standing behind her with the flashlight. I just couldn't grasp it. This whole citrus universe, these bumpy planets revolving so slowly no one could even see themselves moving. I used to think if I could only concentrate hard enough, I could be the one person to feel what no one else could. Sense a small tug from the ground, a sky shift, the earth changing gears. Even though I was only one mini speck on a speck, even though I was merely a pinprick and one goosebump on the orange, I was sure then I was the most specially perceptive, perceptively sensitive. I was sure then my mother was the only mother to snap, the world doesn't revolve around you. The earth was fragile and mostly water, just the way the orange was mostly water if you peeled it, just the way I was mostly water if you peeled me. Looking back on that third grade science demonstration, I can understand why some people gave up on fame or religion or cures, especially people who have an understanding of the excruciating crawl of the world, who have a well-developed sense of spatial reasoning and the tininess that it is to be one of us. But not me. Even now, I wouldn't mind being God, the force who spins the planets the way I spin a globe, a basketball, a yo-yo. I wouldn't mind being that teacher who chooses the fruit, or that favorite kid who gives the moon its glow. Thank you, Denise. Heart to Heart by Rita Dove. It's neither red nor sweet. It doesn't melt or turn over, break or harden, so it can't feel pain, yearning, regret. It doesn't have a tip to spin on. It isn't even shapely, just a thick clutch of muscle, lopsided, mute. Still, I feel it inside, its cage sounding a dull tattoo. I want, I want. But I can't open it. There's no key. I can't wear it on my sleeve or tell you from the bottom of it how I feel. Here, it's all yours now, but you'll have to take me too. Thank you, Miss Rita Dove. This will be the last poem for today's service, for Audre, by Pat Parker. 1. The black unicorn is restless. The black unicorn is unrelenting. The black unicorn is not free. That is from The Black Unicorn by Audre Lorde. Who is this bitch? I mean, really, who is this bitch? She come bopping into my life bold. I be sitting in my pad, minding my own business. She come waltzing in a funnel of energy, fire questions at me like some 60 Minutes reporter hot after the bad guy. Like, where is she from? I know literally how she got here. Been hanging around with East Bay dykes and wants to know where the black women are. And to them, I am the black women. Now, this woman sits in my house, reads, no, devours my words, no comment, just clicking and humming, then has the nerve to say, I write good, but not enough. Push more, take the harder road. Who is this woman? I know her for all of an hour and a half, and she's talking at me like my fifth grade teacher. More discipline, Patricia. Stretch yourself. I mean, really, this be one bold ass bitch. If that's not enough, she ends the visit, if that's what you call it. I'd call it an earthquake, shake everything that isn't nailed down loose, watch it crumble and fall. She tells me to my face as she goes out my door, you need to get rid of your lover. She no help to you. Who is this bitch? 2. I am woman and not white. From A Woman Speaks by Audre Lorde. You talk to me like my mother with your eyes. Dark pieces of coal pierce my words. Dare me to be untruthful. Reach beneath the surface, tell you the part that I hold back. I have known you forever, been aware that you would come. My muse sing of you. Watch the sky for an ebony meteorite that will pierce into your darkness, illuminate your fears, hurl them at you laughing. Are you quick enough to survive? Can I count on you to be there? 3. I am often afraid to this day, but even more so, angry at having to be afraid, of having to spend so much of my energies interrupting my work simply upon fear and worry. That is from The Cancer Journals by Audre Lorde. After I read the Cancer Journals, after I read the Cancer Journals, I made love to you, touched your body, pressed my hands deep into your flesh, and passed my warmth to you. I kissed the space where your right breast had been, ran my tongue over your body to lick away your fear, to lick away my fear. I felt jealous, wanted to be near you and to hold you and to sing you songs, to say I love you, You are not alone. Then I felt guilt for all the unsent letters, for all the unwritten poems, for all the dead air. For every woman I have ever loved has left her print upon me. I was ready to give you up. So much time passed and no sense of you. Sister, love, some things are not possible. I carry you with me, talk with you, ask your opinion. You cannot give me up. I cannot give you up. We are linked in our blackness, our creativity, our queerness, our muses conspire. I never promise to write often, to call often, to be a presence. I promise to love you and call you sister. Thank you, Pat Parker. Thank you all for spending this time here at Poetry Chapel with me. I am going back to a moment that I thought that is the perfect way to close out today, if I can find it here. What I want to say to you is, and I'm not finding it, but what I can say is that this space is something that I'm leading into. We're right at 10:21, and I'm finding out that though I've wanted to do it weekly, it's going to probably be more of a monthly space. But I plan to do it with this same fervor and energy. You cannot give me up. I cannot give you up. We are linked. Thank you for being here. And I will see you next time. See if I can stop sharing my screen. This is the funny part of life when you're doing technology. There we go. Peace and love to all of you. Thank you for being here. Oh, I see you all speaking. Yes, thank you for being here. If you want to stay up to date on when this is happening, as I'm figuring out the timing, please subscribe. And as soon as I have the date for when I'll go live again, you'll get that notification. I also share on Instagram when Poetry Chapel will happen. And I also share the order of service so you know who I'm reading and you can read it ahead if you want to. As I stated earlier, all permissions were received from the authors who are living. I give thanks for each and every one of them and the language that they give us as we create new worlds for ourselves to live, thrive, and connect. Peace, love. See you all soon.